I admit the photo proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted that inevitability, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris let Tazakura Temple threw the weapon into the river and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out of the bridge and those coming from coming back. Ah, you're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. It stopped snowing after 10:50 p.m. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was in the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. How long does it take you to do that? What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? Damn right there is. The idea that snowfall covered one set was trapped. There is a contradiction. Also, it's just not snowing that hard. The tracks of the river were covered by the snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that isn't possible. Would you care to explain? Why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need, the evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. It's the weather data.
Take that!
Stopped snowing after 10:50. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for our Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m. and it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order. Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. Was the weather report ever correct? I was right! No, you've got it all wrong. This is no forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11. It's true we can't be totally sure, eh? What? How'd she pull that off? It stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain certain in this case. You cannot back down now, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it already stopped snowing? The murder crime scene photo.
Take that!
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. You know, she was completely uncovered. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it's snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered in snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be 2 sets of tracks. Order! Just what are you... Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I am not entirely sure myself, but... this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. When the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge, and at that time it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were gone. And then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. Oh, what does, sister? There's only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris never said that she never went there. I should probably press at this point, some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it at the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow too. But that isn't possible. What the hell? Order in the court. What does all this mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If this was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've arrived at this point due to the witness. Yes, I've nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know. Well then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Fucking Butz. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, I actually have an idea. There may be one individual that are able to help us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. He probably fucking used it. But there are two things about him that come to mind. He is unbelievably stupid. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being? This individual that I'm thinking of when wandering outside that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Mr. Larry Butz. I don't have a middle name. I would have put it. Larry A. Butz. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc or the Ludoc's Guide to Obnoxious French Paintings. Obnoxious French words. What the hell is that? This is Larry Butz, the student of the victim, Elise. Her student, interesting. Why was he wandering on the night of the murder? Wandering on the murder, whatever. That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris. It may cost us his credibility as a witness, before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I don't know, you ought to get him to testify. I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Thank you. To be continued. February 9th. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you in any way I can. First, about that night, you really didn't go to the Inner Temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then, that night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out into Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh my god. Stop this. Stop. Oh my god. Why is there 5? Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Not until our safety is confirmed. Who? Her. The safety of the Acolyte. Maya? The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Or Pearl. Pearl. That's who it is. No. There's two things. She is probably being blackmailed with Pearl's safety, actually. Not just Maya, but Pearl as well. That's probably what's going on here. So when we assume she's talking about Maya, she's probably referring to Pearl. Because we don't know where she is. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise? No matter who or what may come, I can never take a life. As I thought, no psychologue. Very well. It is my job to get the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Back in court. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. No, never heard of that. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Anyway, it's time to drag the pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. The artist said, no, I don't know who he's referring to. Pardon the defendant. Laurice Duxon? I hope you're ready. Get in here. Get the fuck in here, Laurice. It would seem that the whip is going to see plenty more to use today. Ouch. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was just artistically rendering. Ouch. You tried to run over from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, it was nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color viridian. Larry, I swear to God. This isn't an art store, now is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art's all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it, thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So, see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake, bright red. Or to see the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Stop your pathetic blabbling and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. No, this is almost too much for me. What I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't meet anyone at the bridge that night. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. Yes, that's what happens when you get beaten down by life. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he's been to the other people. Yeah, that's right. Behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Very well, then let's proceed with the cross-examination with no touching. Thank you. You can delve into other details at a later time. Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may let my whip have its way. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right? I swear to God, I'm going to rip your fucking head off. See, you can do it, if you try. Ouch! There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge.
Hold it!
A number of times. How many? Maybe 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes. Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night? You bet. Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Love, you say? It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack, using this blackmail letter. Blackmail? Oh no! That was simply a product of overflowing love. Ah, you huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. So what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness, eh? Well, you see, being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. Probably because he enjoys it deep down. I didn't see a snowmobile.
Hold it!
Larry, you really didn't see it? No, hey, no need to hit your desk. I can hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile. Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile. You truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up. What's with this? I don't know. Don't ask me. It seems I'll need to start it with from a more obvious contradiction. Do you know what a snowmobile is? I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans. Oh, you didn't meet your childhood friend, Phoenix, right? Childhood classmate, Larry Butz. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. And Edgy, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound like that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. Well, you're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let's talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened to cross a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butz. That's right, me, in the flesh. You just testified that you didn't see anyone. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. As long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you mean? What do you want me to do then? Larry, what do you need to change as your inner self? What you saw that night. Testified truthfully. That is all you can do for now. Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Yeah, okay. This is gonna go on for like 18,000 times, isn't it? Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. You just did testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I went to the shack at around 9, so it wouldn't have been around 10:30. I was lying under my bedding, and then a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was caught on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a three-day stint chasing a girl. Out in flames? It totally burnt out. Like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the bridge, burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. Nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. It's always hard to know if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. I fucking hate Larry. He just always is screwing me over. Okay. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Fucking jerk off. Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Ugh, no more information. Excited, dare I even ask? I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early, too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. This light, yes, was, of course, lightning, like, kerplow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Ah. Or a little like that? Oh, that's more like a punch from Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so... Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know. I changed my mind. Not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness. Why would you go out when it was still light and thundering? You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes. 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought I gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were in front of the bridge? Hold on. Well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. So I guess about 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him a little more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Why did you go to the bridge? Oh, it was on fire. Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. Well, what is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Eh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay, a reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? What? He showed up less than a minute later. Come on, Larry. Come on.